And we'd like to welcome everybody back. NPA Central Session, Day 4, Game number 2. And what a game we have here in Ottawa, Ontario. We've got Crestwood Prep out of North York, Ontario, taking on the Saint-Laurent Express out of Saint-Laurent, a.k.a. Montreal. This is Ryan Greco on your play-by-play, joined by Elias Spey on color. Elias, talk to us a little bit about what we should be expecting from this game between two of these top programs in the country.
Well, Crestwood has been really dominant to start the season. One of the top 5 teams in the country as it stands. Saint-Laurent obviously always dealing with a little bit of a disadvantage in terms of age, but a ton of experience at the junior level. Roosevelt, one of their best shooters, number 30 in the yellow. This is going to be a tough one for Saint-Laurent. They got to take this as a learning experience as they move forward.
Oh, absolutely, and with that being said, as the action starts off, it's 2-zip with Crestwood going all the way down the lane. That was number 30, Kashawn Laddie. No good on that one. Kicks it out to Jacoby Neath. Jacoby Neath, no good. Rims out. Rebound comes down for Saint-Laurent, though. They protect the paint on that one. Now bringing it up is number 30, Roosevelt Auguste. Gets himself, battles out of the trap. And here's Junior Mercy. There's a guy who left quite an impression yesterday to the crowd. Some great in and outs. Here's a fast break to Elijah Fisher. Is it showtime? It is. Elijah Fisher throwing it down. 4-0 Crestwood here early on. Here's Auguste bringing it up. Gets it over to Mercy. Mercy in the corner. This is Boykier. He's going to let it fly from the corner, knock it down. And Saint-Laurent is on the board. Here's Neath now bringing it up for Crestwood. Gets it over to Laddie. Laddie's guarded by Mercy. Neath gets it in the corner. Dribble and drive penetration, kicks it out. Fisher's going to let it fly for 3. No good. But a big board down by number 25. Give that rebound.
34. Get up. Kobe, get up. No, 22. Kobe, get up.
Getting called with the
Watch behind you, Lewis.
offensive foul.
34.
And Auguste is going to take it on the inbound. Guarded by Fisher. Here comes the half-court trap, but they get through it. Oh, nice find on the inside there, and the foul on Neath. Some great passing there, Elias, from Saint-Laurent in the early going here.
And these guys play an unselfish brand of basketball. I could think Coach Chenier has done an incredible job in the early season, just getting them to buy into team play. The ball doesn't stick. It's always moving.
And here at the line is Salim Berry, number 33, class of 2022. He's actually on a team that's pretty young. He's one of the younger guys. Of course, out of Saint-Laurent, standing 6'1".
And as I continue to learn about this roster, Junior Mercy's been one of the most impressive for the Saint-Laurent Express. Number 1 in the yellow, class
Absolutely.
of 2021. Seen him get in the lane quite a bit and just be super tight with his handle.
Yep. Here's Neath on the rebound. Just a little bit too much there. Elijah's just pointing up to him saying, just a little bit lower, brother, I got you. And here's the inbound now. It's going to be Mercy. Speak of the devil, it's going to be inbounding it here. Full court press is on for Crestwood. They break it. Oh, nice idea there. But just a little bit too much on the pass there from Auguste. But you have to love the confidence that Saint-Laurent is playing with. And granted, in that game yesterday against Halifax Prep, Elias, they did also a fantastic job of breaking the press there as well and getting to the lane.
They did. They used the middle of the floor really well. And that's the way to do it when you're breaking a press. You can't get into trap, into corners before and after half court.
There's Mercy just missing. That's something he was money from against Halifax yesterday. Here's a kick out. Shot goes up. Oh, deep 3.
Jacoby to Kobe.
That's right. Number 13, Kobe Antwi with the deep 3 here. And now he's on the defensive end.
And Antwi's one of those guys that we would consider a specialist. There's Fisher on the block. From three-point land, Kobe Antwi with the ball in his hands right now. He could pull up, stop, and pop. He could be a spot-up shooter. High academic kid for those Patriot League and Ivy League schools looking to get a 6'5" guard. I think he's an excellent piece.
Yeah, he is for sure. There's a great find. Oh, what a pass that was. Just can't finish under the rim. But full kudos goes to number 33 there, Salim Berry with the find. And that's just something we keep seeing over and over from the Saint-Laurent team, Elias, is just the confidence that they have and the trust they have in each other to even just try passes like that. And to be perfectly honest, despite being the youngest team at this session, they have broken the press and handled pressure, I believe, better than just about any team here. It may not be showing on the score sheet with the finishes at the rim and the near misses, but they've done a great job of giving themselves second and third chances. Here it is, back to Neath. He's going to let it fly from 3. No good. Antwi last to touch it. It's going to be Saint Laurent ball here. 6:36 to go here in the first. This is game number 2 of day 4 here in the Central Session at Notre Dame High School. This is, of course, the official home court of Top Flight Academy, who had quite a matchup yesterday against Crestwood Prep, didn't they?
Yes, they did. And there's Trayvon Thomas, one of the better ball handlers for Crestwood's, knocking it down.
10-3 now. Oh, there's a find. Here's Saint Laurent just continuing to run and gun as best as they can. A nice find out there. Open look. Lets it fly. Just missed, but another offensive board by Zubadai. That was Yassine Zubadai with the rebound. Gets it over to it, and there's going to be a foul. Attack in the lane was Yanis Bamba. No relation to Mo?
None whatsoever.
Now you look at a guy like Yanis Bamba, just how long his arms are. It says here that he's 6'2", but he's got the arms of a guy who's about 6'5". There's Mercy on the inside. Saint Laurent tries to kick it back out, but a little bit of miscommunication there by Bamba, and it's going to be Crestwood ball on the sideline.
I'm sure at some point you've made a reference to Mercy, Mercy Me.
Oh, I did.
By Marvin Gaye.
Earlier, yeah, definitely. When he went walking through the trees that were Halifax Prep's front court. There's a kick out to Antwi for 3. Just a little lean to the left on that one. And here's Zubadai, tries to get it up. And Mercy's going to get the foul. Just knocks the head back a little bit as Neath was coming by. Neath doesn't appreciate the call, but referee says, nope, you got him.
Don't think you could really argue that when he came across the body.
Yep. We have an inbound here on the sidelines. On the inbound is Roosevelt Auguste, who was a very impressive shooting display yesterday against Halifax Prep. And this is the thing, you know, we had a chance to watch them yesterday, and outside of that first quarter where they kind of, you know, it seemed like a deer in the headlights kind of situation where they were getting to the rim, just weren't finishing, very similar to how we're seeing right now. But Halifax Prep was just finishing their layups and finishing their shots. But everything after that, once Saint Laurent settled down, they were with them step for step the entire game. And to be honest, I expect something very similar here today, because they've now gone through the gauntlet. They've went against 2 of the top 10 programs in the country, this, of course, being their second game. And as a result, you know, I feel like every other game after this is going to be relatively easier for them.
Yeah, and they got to go through these bumps and bruises early in the season. They're a much younger team, playing against a lot more experience, a lot more toughness, a lot more physical presence. So you got to be able to make adjustments.
Absolutely. Here's at the top of the key. This goes back to Thomas, and the shot clock expires. And Coach Russell wants the shot wants the shot clock reset, saying that it hit the rim. Referee says no, it did not. As a result, turnover. And Saint Laurent now, kudos to them so far, halfway through this first quarter, holding Crestwood to 10 points. They just have to start getting some points on the board for themselves as Mercy brings it up. Guarded by Thomas. Kicks it off to the side. Back up to Auguste. The inside, Bamba. Driving to the basket now is Boyke. Shot goes up, just rims out. A big man board there by Crestwood.
And all of Roosevelt's shots look very good. He sets up his feet, he catches in the pocket, and the mechanics on the follow-through are really good.
Absolutely. A nice find in the corner there by Thomas. Just can't knock it down. That shot was by number 33, Steven Lazar. 6'7" kid out of Toronto. Class of 2020. Look at a kid like him and you just think, oh, the possibilities. A lot of potential in a frame like that.
Long, agile, can extend the floor.
Yep. Shoot over just about anybody. Just a little bit more confidence. But once again, you know, that's a 2020 right there. He still has another year to try and figure it out at this level. So here's the inbound, number 34, Benito Blanco, one of my favorite names to say in this session, on the inbound. Nice kick there. Auguste. No good. Now bringing it up again is Thomas. He's running a little bit of point in the last couple of possessions. Looking inside. Kicks it back out. Shot goes up. Just a little strong. That was number 20, Can Osman, the miss. The kid out of Spain. 6 feet, class of 2020. Now bringing it up is Mercy. Junior Mercy, guarded by Thomas. Works off the screen. Thinks about the pick and roll. Tries to get the man on the inside baseline cut. Goes off a foot, and it's going to remain Saint-Laurent ball on the baseline.
And most of the starters for Crestwood returning into the game now. Try to go on a little run here before the bench comes back on.
Yep, that's right. Almost a full line change, and if we're using hockey terms. There's a kick over to Mercy. Mercy trying to set up his defender. Up, under. Oh, what a kiss off the glass that was, using the extra step. Just the awareness of this kid. How can you not love that kind of court sense? Here's the kick over to 30. This is Kashan Laddie. Gets it off to Elijah Fisher. Fisher's strong. A number of Crestwood players now from that angle. They keep missing long. Well, it's the first game of the day, though. Still relatively early here at 11:06 local time. Guys still getting their feet under them. 10-5, 3:12 to go here in the first. Saint-Laurent with the possession. Junior Mercy now bringing it up. Gets it back. He's guarded by Ansui. That's going to be a tough matchup for him. We'll see if he's up for it. Mercy tries to get by the defender, kicks it out, tries to find the open man. Right back to him. He's going to shoot it for three. No good. Big rebound by Neath. Oh, good find there by Blanco. Blanco now with the ball. He's going to try and go up himself. Great body control. Just can't get it to fall. Neath with the rebound. Fast break to Fisher. Here comes Fisher on the other end. Good control and finish at the rim there with the defender draped all over him. Here's Blanco. Blanco walks into the paint. Kicks it back out for three. No good. Rebound, Neath. Or excuse me, sorry, no. That was the rebound, Antwi.
Blanco, that is an awesome name. Sounds like a character from Narcos.
Here's Fisher to Antwi. Back to Fisher. Fisher, he's guarded by Zubadai.
No
Chadua
doubt.
tries to go in there.
Powered his way in there. Defense held their position.
But you know what, though? I'm not mad at that. Ashraf, that's his first touch of the game, and if you're going to do it, you might as well stay aggressive going to the basket. You know, I'm sure a lot of coaches talk about it. It's like you'd rather have aggressive mistakes than passive ones. It shows that the effort is at least there. Here's Mercy on the inbound. He's bringing it up. Going to see if he can try and run an offense as Crestwood sags back a little bit. Now he's taking on Fisher. Oh, nice move on the inside. Oh, just can't finish with the left hand.
You can see he's a little frustrated with himself.
Yep. Oh, Fisher up. And what a finish. No, the referee says travel. And we've got inbound here for Saint-Laurent as Coach Russell's discussing the call. All right, here's Mercy bringing it up now. So Crestwood's loss could be Saint-Laurent's gain on this one. Kicks it over. Oh, from way out. Count it. Nothing but net. Number 30, Roosevelt August, knocking it down. There's Neath now. One more pass to Antwi. Antwi tries to go up and highlight it. but a foul and one. And that's the importance of sticking with it, Elias?
You talked about him being aggressive and others being, Ashraf being aggressive. That was a tough play right there. Picked up his own rebound and got to finish. I was talking to Jay about this earlier. That is a dude that is a high academic profile. Proven to be able to shoot the three with efficiency, learning to create for himself off the dribble. That's the biggest improvement he's made is in his ball handling. If I'm a high major coach, I got him on my watch. If I'm a mid-major coach, I'm pulling the trigger now. Because by the time this season's end, he's going to have many offers on the table. And he's still 2020. Still got a whole another year.
Very impressive player indeed. And there's a turnover. There's going to be a charging call, though. Offensive foul off of the turnover. And that's going to be called, I believe, on number 30, Kashawn Laddie. Now on the inbound, it's going to be Benito Blanco that's on the inbound. He's going to be guarded by Fisher. Gets it into Mercy. And he's guarded by Laddie. Oh, there he goes. Oh, just great use of the body. Junior Mercy. If he's not on the college scouts radar before, he definitely is after this session. There's another long miss.
That's not like him. That's not like him at all. Kobe barely has those kind of shots. Most of his threes are right on the money.
Yeah, it just seems his Crestwood team a little stagnant this morning. A number of air balls from the specifically from the left wing and from the extended baseline. Or excuse me, more from the extended foul line. Seen a lot of misses there. But Laddie makes good on the first free throw. 44 seconds to go in this first quarter. Crestwood up 15-10. There's a good one there too. 16-10. Just a two-possession game though. I'm sure if you told Saint Laurent by the end of the first quarter you're going to have roughly a two-possession deficit against one of the top teams in the country, I'm sure they would have taken it. But knowing knowing Coach Chenier, he probably would have preferred the lead. And gets it back over to Thomas. Nice find inside to Fisher. And Fisher with the finish. Excellent ball movement by Crestwood there. 30 seconds to go in this first quarter, and the full court press is on. And you can tell they're right there. And there's Neath up and throws it down. Jacoby Neath. Here's Blanco up. Strong, too strong with the left hand. Here's Fisher one more time. Up, in, and he's gonna get the bucket. And just like that, 6 quick points. 5 seconds remaining. 4. Zubadai to Blanco. And he's gonna get called with the travel.
And you see Fisher's able to score quite easily against this level of competition, more around his age.
Well said. And that's a factor, you know, you always have to keep in mind. I mean, keep in mind, though, a lot of the, as the shot goes up, no good. Even Fisher, though, he's still a year younger than a lot of these kids, but that says something. But with that, it's the end of the first quarter. Crestwood is holding on now after a little bit of a slow start, really picking it up near the end there. Now lead 22-10. And with that, we'll be right back to begin the second quarter action here at the NPA Central session. We'll be right back.
NPH events. There's an opportunity to get involved at the ground level. NPH hosts elite level high school tournaments to national club team championships throughout the course of the season. Now is your chance to get involved with the fastest growing sport in Canada with the industry leaders and influencers. Get in the game today and join NPH in growing basketball in this country.
I'm Michaela Roche. I played for 4 years at the University of Minnesota for the Golden Gophers in the Big Ten Conference. I coached for 3 years at Kansas State University with the Wildcats. I just completed playing professionally in Greece, and I am the National Women's Basketball Scout for North Pole Hoops.
Low post right. This is Roche. Quick square around move.
every day waking up, I need to find a way to make girls basketball better. And so that's my job, to be able to help you as a player, as a student athlete, as a young woman, and just to be able to really understand the ins and outs of what it takes to be successful both in basketball but also in life.
Third angle left, underneath Rocher, quick move to the left hand, makes it in for 2.
I've lived and I've done a lot of what...
And we'd like to welcome everybody back to the NPA Central Session, day number 4. This is game number 2 on our schedule today. Crestwood Prep out of North York taking on Saint-Laurent out of Montreal. We have a pretty interesting first quarter there as Crestwood turned on the press, Elias, and managed to really build up a bit of a double-digit lead for themselves here after a relatively close first quarter for most of it.
And anytime they put on the press, this is tough for any team, not just Saint Laurent, a much younger squad. They just got so much length on the floor and able to take away angles. Makes it tough to bring the ball up the floor. There's Mercy on the no-look.
And once again, though, you got to love the ball movement. It's just going to come down to a matter of making your shots for Saint Laurent.
Coach, formal warning for both coaches got to be in your bench here. Back up, please. Okay, back.
As we've got
Coach, back up, please.
sideline inbound here for number 3, Jamal Boykier. Class of 2023, 9th grader. And there's another guy who, you know, despite his age, looks like he fits right in here in the NPA. Here's Junior Mercy now. Just holding on to it. Here's Zubadai working hard on the inbound. Oh, gets knocked loose though. Here's Fisher. And Fisher goes up, and great body control and finish at the rim. Elijah Fisher counted for 2. Junior Mercy now picking up the pace. Zubadai getting away almost with a travel there. Kicks it back out. August goes up. No good on the shot.
And August has not seen a shot that he doesn't like. I don't blame him either. Once he's spotted up and in position, he could definitely make those.
Well, I mean, we just saw it with our own 2 eyes, hitting it from the volleyball line here at the red line, just a quarter ago. This is the kind of kid that just feels like he's always open. As soon as he crosses that half-court line, keep a hand up. As we have Kobe Ansui now at the line, no good on the first one. Good on the second. 25-10 now, 8:46 to go in the second. Mercy now bringing it up. And the pass just a little bit high for Barry. And here on the inbound is going to be Laddie, Kashawn Laddie bringing it in. He's going to get it over to Trevin Thomas.
Trayvon gets it to the corner.
No good on that.
Mercy.
Mercy now keeping the ball alive. Kicks it back out to his open shooter. Just a tough day at the office right now for August. He's missed about 3 in a row at this point, but he's going to keep shooting. Shooter shoot. Neath. Oh, nice ball fake. Thinks about it, gets it back to Ansui. Ansui, pro hop, back out. One more pass. Thomas. Just no good on the shot. Great ball movement there from Crestwood. And now August is going to bring it up. He's thinking about it. Gets it over to Mercy. You could tell he was sizing it up. There it is. No good on the miss. Just a little bit strong. Here's Neath now bringing it up. Thomas. Thomas now. Finding Ansui for 3. No good. And both teams just going a little bit cold in this second quarter from behind the arc. And Coach Chenier from Saint Laurent is going to take a timeout, and so are we. With that, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Crestwood Prep 25, Saint Laurent 10.
It's not a game. This is not a game. Don't waste your time. This is not for everybody. So you got to make a decision by the end of today if this is really what you want. Okay? I'm a 5'8" Arab kid, comes from a low-income family. My family was on welfare when we came up. Nobody expected us to be have North Pole hoops in the position that we're in. But everyone that said no saw how hard we grinded and just beat down walls. So now, if you're not going to waste your time, your parents' time, your coaches, don't waste mine either. Because I fought for everything that I've got. And if you want it bad enough, I'm telling you, fight for it. Are we all on the same page?
I'd like to welcome everyone back. NPA Central session, day number 4, game number 2 on the schedule. Crestwood Prep holding on to a comfortable 25-10 lead here over the Saint-Laurent Express. Now I have a chance to add to that as Jacoby Neath is going to go to the line for 2 off of the inbound.
Hey, 36 to 31.
And Elias, talk to me a little bit about, we've seen and heard amazing things from Jacoby Neath. This really seems to have been his breakout year, in a sense, where he's been getting not only high Division I looks, but also you've had a few discussions and you've made a few declarations as well about the young man.
Yeah, I mean, I believe in all heart of hearts that he's an NBA prospect. He hasn't been looked at as that simply because last year he had a lot of knee pains, and it was because he was still growing. Now he's in a comfortable position. He's got his vertical back. His body's in great shape, and I think that once he gets on campus at Wake Forest, he's going to be a force to reckon with. They're going to be using him right away. Absolutely.
And speaking of another prospect that's definitely on the rise after this session is Junior Mercy. You can see, even in the paint, despite his size and despite his lack thereof size, he's had incredible control of the basketball and incredible balance when he's working in the paint with all these much bigger, older, stronger defenders on him. Manages to keep control of the ball, keep possession, keep dribbling, as a matter of fact, finding an open man underneath. And really, it just seems like it's just going to come down to a matter of his teammates kind of catching up with him a little bit as time goes on, which I no doubt they will with a coach like Chenier behind them. Yeah, being able to keep the ball alive is definitely very important, just so you don't get in trap situations where you're just being mauled by defenders. For sure, as Zubadai loses a hand on it, Neath gets it back inside, and Antwi thinking it was about to be showtime there, but Junior Mercy able to get a hand in there, and Mercy's looking around going, I got all ball. The referee disagrees. And Neath is going to go to the line yet again. Excuse me, this is Kobe Antwi at the line. 6'5" kid out of Oakville. Definitely one of the top players in his class. No good on the second free throw. Blanco getting it over to Mercy. Back to Blanco. Blanco gets out of the double team. Here's Mercy now surveying his options. Finds open man cutting to the basket, but a great block underneath the basket by Crestwood Prep. Great team defense, but Zubadai, and I'm sorry, I'm loving this kid, Yassine Zubadai. He doesn't necessarily look like an ideal forward, but man, does he have a nose for the ball. He's a pure role player. They're using him to break the press. They're using him in the high post to get the entry pass, get the defense to collapse for a second. But most important about him, Elias, that I'm finding right now, especially from the last 2 games I've seen, is how comfortable he is in that high post. A lot of kids his age are very, very timid in those situations and tend to cough up the ball. But not this kid. He holds on to it with a lot of confidence, and he's not afraid to make mistakes. You're definitely right about that one. Kick out to the corner there. Here's Neath. Or excuse me, Antwi. I'm still getting the 2 confused here. Now it's Neath. He's going to let it fly. No good. Thomas comes down with it, though. Clean look at the basket, and he makes good on it. 33-10. And you're hoping at some point Saint-Laurent here, all these great plays just haven't been equaling buckets, however. Here's Blanco to Mercy. Mercy with Thomas on him. One-on-one moment. Mercy's going to try and use it. Step back, goes up and under, gets an open man. One more try and take to the basket, but that's a miss on number 13, Hassan Dijam. Here's Thomas bringing it up, guarded by Mercy. Oh, Mercy with the turnover. He's got a man to beat. Oh, nice move by Mercy, but just can't seem to finish. Oh, here comes Dijam now. Dijam has it. He's going to try and go his own way up. Just another tough miss for him as well. He's been short most of the day. And once again, Laurent just getting to the basket. It's just a matter of finishing now. Kick out. Oh, great fake there by Antwi. Kicks it back out. Good spin on the ball, just not enough arc. Blanco up and in. Just can't finish again. Mercy with it. He's going to let it fly. Short. Antwi comes down with it to Neath. Oh, great defense there, but the and one by Jacoby Neath. Great body control on the finish.
He's just too strong. He's on another level. Been pumping the weights.
Definitely. Yeah, that one, kids out there watching this one, that is the importance of the weight room. You're seeing it right there. As there's going to be a quick timeout here, and we're going to take a quick timeout on top of that as well. At the time, it is Crestwood 35, Saint-Laurent Express 10. We'll be right back. I'd like to welcome everyone back here. NPA Central session in full effect. And speaking of the session overall, if you're just joining us, we had a chance to watch Rothsay take on Oakville Prep just before this game. And a very, very impressive showing by Rothsay as they pulled out the win and ended up finishing their session 4-0, Elias. A very impressive showing for them, and definitely a move up the power rankings is in order for them after their display here at the Central session.
And this is huge for the confidence of the players on Rothsay and really the bench. The bench got a lot of minutes, got some opportunity to show that they can help and provide some assists.
I have to say, once they defeated Edge, it kind of put everybody else on notice for the rest of the NPA to watch out for this school from New Brunswick that's doing very good things. And you had a chance actually to go out and visit them earlier this year, the campus and the facilities.
Oh, man, it's something else. Yeah. It's something else out there. Like, academically, they're super strong. They're really well taken care of from a dieting standpoint. They got chefs daily, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So all their meals are prepared. It's all healthy food. It's really a great place for a student athlete to develop. I mean, and Damien Gay puts all into these guys. They battle for him. You see the type of fire that they play with, and that all stems from the coach.
Absolutely. I had a chance to talk to Coach Gay just before this game began, and after that one, and you can just tell like the energy that he carries himself with. is something that the kids definitely feed off of. And it's not just energy, it's positive energy. You see him, even when he's upset with his players, he does it almost as if a father being angry at his kids as opposed to a boss being angry at his employees, you know? And there's a major difference in that. And that's something that I don't think enough people really talk about or see and understand when they're looking for a program for themselves.
Yeah, and you got to know how to. You got to look for coaches that really know how to communicate, that don't get down on their players, guys that uplift, and that's definitely something that Coach Damien Gay does. You saw, Shaim Malcolm was the first one to take a chance and take the advice and head out to Rothsay, and he's found success as a result of that.
Absolutely.
Then you had Sam Alamutu this year, head out of Bill Crothers. He's out at Rothsay, and he's having a successful season so far as well. So you're getting buy-in now. You're getting Toronto kids moving all the way to New Brunswick. Who would have thought? A couple years ago, you would have never, we'd have never been having this conversation.
2 years ago, that would have been a crazy conversation. Right. And you know what? To your point, Elias, this being really my first chance to come out to an NPA session and see all of the teams in one go, the one thing that I've definitely taken away, and I was actually just talking to one of our to one of our other guys in NPH, and for me personally, to see a team like, for example, Saskatoon Basketball Academy come out here, and with a team that's majority Saskatchewan players come out, and really about 100% of the roster is from the prairies at that point, or close to it. And for them to come out and compete at the level that they're competing at with teams from Toronto, with teams from Montreal, with teams from other major metropolitan areas that are known as basketball hotbeds, and for them to not only compete but also win a few games and just showing the athleticism. That's the thing that really got to me, was the athleticism and the basketball know-how that both the coaching staffs and the players displayed on the court. And I see things like that, and I know that Canadian basketball is in good hands, and it's only going to get better. It's a real eye-opener if you ever get a chance to come out to one of these sessions.
It definitely shows the wide scale of talent across the country.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been fortunate enough to go back and forth across Canada over the last 10 years. So I've traveled across the showcase circuit.
Yep.
I've been, that's been the identification process. We've traveled for the NPA. I've been around for all sorts of tournaments across Canada, so I've got to see it firsthand. It's just so dispersed everywhere else. I think with the National Prep Association now in order and having an infrastructure where the top kids from each region can come together, now you don't have to leave Saskatchewan. You have a program there.
Yep.
You don't have to leave Alberta. You have a program there, and you're going to get the same. No, I would say you're going to get more benefits playing at home via an exposure piece than you would even going to the States. When our guys go to the States, unless you're RJ Barrett, nobody cares.
That's a good point.
Nobody cares about you.
Yeah.
You have to be absolutely annihilating the league here to consider going elsewhere.
And speaking of annihilation, Ashraf Chadua, what a block that was on the end there.
The chase down, very LeBron-esque.
As Crestwood now on the offense here, but here's a turnover by Saint-Laurent as they're heading up. Nice move up, and another block by Chadua, the kid from Ajax, Ontario, getting it done on the defensive end. As we got a substitution back into the game for Crestwood is number 20, Ken Osman. As we've got the inbound here. This is Laddie bringing it up. Antwi. Laddie in the corner. That's Osman. Shot goes up. No good. Mercy bringing it down. Oh, keeps holding on to it. Oh, he's going to get caught with the double dribble. And at some point, you knew he was going to get caught at some point or another in this game. He's done such a great job with his hesitations that, kudos goes to Crestwood as they're picking their spots when to attack this kid. This is Laddie, gets it into Antwi. Antwi up, no good. Here's Fisher now. Inside. Now getting it done on the defensive end and the offensive end is Chadua.
31.
Ashraf Chadua having himself a second quarter here at the NPA Central Session against Saint Laurent. Oh, nice crossover there. Kick to the corner. Thinks about it, falls down, and Osman's going to get it. Gets it over to Fisher. Nice little drop pass in, and it's going to be an offensive foul on Elijah Fisher, extending the forearm, knocking the defender off balance. Can't do that, Elias.
And there's moves that you could use to separate from the defender. That's definitely not one of them.
No, for sure. You know, it's interesting, you know, building on what you were kind of talking about there with the American prep circuit. You know, of course, at the end of the day, a lot of kids want to go where some of the best competition is. But, you know, to your point, the only kids you ever really do truly hear about down there are the guys that usually end up in the NBA. And, you know, when you got guys like Jamal Murray now and guys like A.J. Lawson and guys of that caliber that are now, you know, either are in the NBA or NBA level prospects that had spent their entire career up here in Canada, you know, it's really doing a lot of service of breaking that old stigma of the only way that you can be successful is by going to the States at some point. Even a guy like O'Shea Brissett, who's most likely going to be a draft prospect this year, left Findlay Prep to come back to Canada.
Well, look at A.J. Lawson. A.J. Lawson's our prime example. I mean, he came right from here.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be watching GTA Prep play in the next game. He came out of that program. He's averaging 15 points a game at South Carolina. Had his biggest night so far last night with 25 points for South Carolina. So we're showing that we can get it done from right here. His teammate, Casey Izagu, ends up at University of Texas El Paso. Many guys have moved on to the next level. Patrick Amelian from Toronto Basketball Academy. He's at Western Michigan having a solid season at plus 10. So it's all Ignas Brzdikas, another big one from Michigan. Him and AJ actually match up next weekend. I'm headed out for that game.
And Ignas is a guy, once again, didn't spend a single day in an American prep school.
You got to understand this. Look, as a player, if you're a prospect who's watching right now, if you could go up and play against James Wiseman, who's committed to Memphis, a 7-footer at 230 pounds, a 5-star prospect that's undoubtedly going to the NBA, you think that you can roll with those guys? Be my guest. You think you can roll with a Cole Anthony at Oak Hill Academy? Be my guest. But if you're not dominating, I mean, when I'm talking dominating, I mean R.J. Barretting in Canada. If you're not doing that, you do not need to be going down south. This is your home. This is where you produce. This is where you play. This is where you get your exposure and your competition.
Well said, well said. And with that, we're going to just take a quick break. Just 2 seconds remaining in this half before we get back to action here at the NPA Central Session.
Yet again, a 10-point advantage restored for Team Blue. Oh! It's Judy Charges throwing it down!
Welcome to the NPH live broadcasting experience. Allow our team of video technicians to capture your event in high definition. Streaming directly on all NPH media platforms. Up-to-the-minute live game coverage featuring professional commentators and analysts.
Tip in! No good! 2 seconds to go! Oh!
Commercial spots available to promote and market your brand, event, or product. Enjoy the ultimate way to catch the game when you can't.
That man from Quebec can fly!
Welcome back to the NPA Central Session. We've got Crestwood Prep with 2 seconds remaining in the half here. Defense by Saint-Laurent. Toss goes up and no good. And with that, at the half, Crestwood Prep outdoing what they're supposed to do at this point with a solid 44-17 lead. But, you know, all kudos going to Saint-Laurent. Can't finish at the rim. But, you know, Elias, with all due respect as well, they're getting their opportunities. It's not as if they're not getting their looks. They just now have to start finishing. So with that being said, we are going to take a quick break before we get back with second half action here at the NPA Central Session in Ottawa. It is Crestwood Prep 44, St. Laurent Express 17.
Canada top flight. Flight Academy have went back to back. There's one thing I've seen from Kellen Tynes. That guy is not afraid. Very calm under pressure. It's so good in traffic.
Coast to coast on that one.
Kellen Tynes, basket plus the foul.
Kellen Tynes again on the blow-by.
Ooh, tough take. You know what? I'm done calling them tough takes. I think for Kellen Tynes, it's easy. He is making this a regular occurrence.
Pick in the pocket, Tynes.
Kellen Tynes picking pockets and finishing.
Tynes from deep. Tynes, triple.
He's on the left side, finishes with his right hand, able to just get enough on it.
Man, Kellen Tynes, the court vision on this kid is on another level.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
And there's Tynes again, Caleb Suey.
He split a pair of defenders, finessed his way around another that was looking to draw a charge, finished with a nice kiss off the window.
Great body control. There's one thing I've seen from Kellen Tynes. That guy is not afraid. Very calm under pressure. It's so good in traffic.
Coast to coast on that one.
Kellen Tynes, basket plus the foul.
Kellen Tynes again on the blow-by.
Ooh, tough take. You know what? I'm done calling them tough takes. I think for Kellen Tynes, it's easy. He is making this a regular occurrence.
Pick in the pocket, Tynes.
He's on the left side, finishes with his right hand, able to just get enough on it.
Man, Kellen Tynes, the court vision on this kid is on another level.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
And there's Tynes again, Caleb Suey.
He split a pair of defenders, finessed his way around another that was looking to draw a charge, finished with a nice kiss off the window.
Great body control.
I'd like to welcome everyone back to the NPA Central session, second half action in game number 2. We have Crestwood Prep out of North York, Ontario, taking on Saint-Laurent Express out of Montreal. Ryan Greco on your play-by-play. Elias Spade.
There wasn't Elias,
color.
so I don't blame you.
Fair
There
enough.
isn't Elias in the mix here this week.
But of course, as well, this half is being brought to you by Indochino, the official outfitter of the National Preparatory Association. And Elias, a couple of thoughts really quickly on what we saw there in that first half. I mean, Saint-Laurent, despite the score, they seem to be playing with some pretty good confidence, just needing to finish.
Yeah, the shots just aren't falling. Roosevelt usually has a good outing in terms of a shooting, but the 3-ball hasn't been able to fall for him. And Crestwood, this is one of those games where they've got to experiment a little bit with the bench. This game could have even been in a wider spread.
Yes.
So on both sides, using this as a learning experience.
I had a chance to talk to Coach Russell before this game, and he was stressing the importance to his guys about having goals in games like this. You're going up against a team that may not be as physically up to the task as you guys are. A little bit younger, a little bit more inexperienced. So let's use these opportunities to really better ourselves as far as meeting some goals and expectations that we hold ourselves to. More or less, it's about holding us to a certain standard as opposed to playing down to the competition. Now, granted, with that being said, Saint-Laurent on the other side is a team that is definitely not playing down to anybody. They have been playing up to and above not only expectations but to their competition. And really, as we've been saying, it just really has been coming down to the fact that when they're getting the open looks, the shots just aren't falling. When they're attacking the rim with confidence, some great passing plays we've seen throughout that first half. But once again, at the very end of it, it just is not equaling points. But to be honest, Elias, in my opinion, this is a scary-looking team.
Yeah.
Because it reminds me a lot of a Ridley College of about 2 to 3 years ago before they became the national powerhouse they are right now.
And keep in mind, this Crestwood team is playing without Matthew Nelsons and without Joe Smith, the import from Alabama. So once those guys are back in the mix here, just dealing with some bruises, this is going to be a very formidable opponent, even for the best in the country. Yesterday against CTA was a very good game, probably the game of the week so far.
For sure. Here's Mercy, runs out of time on the shot clock, and I believe it's going to be, yes it is, it's going to be a Crestwood ball here. 8:08 to go here in the third, 46-18 for Crestwood Prep. I can imagine Coach Russell's really just hoping more for, just cleaner offensive sets at this point. And that's always the biggest challenge in games like this, is a nice finish and roll to the basket there. It's just battling the enemy of complacency. Here's a shot to the corner. And here we go. This is Yanis Bamba. Gets it inside, and once again, some impressive passing skills, finding the open man. It's just getting those pass placements more accurately, which can equal to a few more buckets here for Saint-Laurent. But another thing I really am impressed here about this Saint-Laurent team is just the body language. These guys, they're a slight disappointment on the face, but the shoulders are up. The mind is aware, the communication is there. These guys know how good they can be if they play to the top of their ability, and
they don't quit. That's
yes,
one thing
absolutely.
that you got to point out.
Yeah.
This is a bunch of guys that are in class of 2022, 2021, and not even actually any 2020s. So significantly younger. You got Jacoby, who's committed to Wake Forest. He's going to be playing some ACC basketball.
Yep.
And you're in grade 9 and 10. It's a huge difference.
It's incredible. You know, their oldest guys still have 2 more years of prep ahead of them.
And Roosevelt way off the mark. It's just not his day for Mr. August.
Unfortunately, here's Thomas on the inside. Up and almost a slam down. And you see him getting a little cheeky there, grabbing it and trying to throw it back in. That's no good. And that's going to be a foul. There's Elijah Fisher and Jacoby Neath having a little chuckle at the expense of their teammate. On the inbound here is going to be Saint-Laurent, number 3, Jamal Boykier, class of 2023. You know, to be a grade 9 and to start in the NPA, I don't care what team you're on, that's an accomplishment in itself. As the shot goes up and no good. As a turnover, has Jacoby Neath on the inbound, and he's going to bring it up now. And he's guarded by Blanco. There's a drive to the basket. Nice turnaround jumper. Oh, gets the kind roll. 52-18 now. And here's bringing it up is Blanco. Blanco getting a little bit more time with the basketball as opposed to how he was last game, but turns it over. And here's Crestwood on the fast break. Up and throws it down. Oh, the thunderous jam.
And Pacheco, with an offer from the University of Texas El Paso, picked it up last year at Nationals. They'll be checking in on him. Coach Michael Peck, who's actually had the experience of coaching several Canadians, including Tristan Thompson and Corey Joseph during his days at Finlay Prep, where they were national championships. Elijah Fisher, the windmill slam.
That's his go-to on a fast break. He's slowly turning that into his signature move, if you will. There's a find inside. And Saint-Laurent, though, with the I always found it interesting, even yesterday when they were up against Halifax Prep, every single time Halifax had a huge dunk jam, as Elijah Fisher gets called with traveling off a negative step, Saint-Laurent would always just bounce right back and get a bucket of their own. It just seems like every single time that that their opponents want to get up and hype, it hypes them up as well offensively and gets them a little bit more focused. Look to the corner. Boykier loses a handle on it. Finds it to Neath up top. Oh, what a pass by Neath inside, and the throwdown by number 33. That's Steven Lazar with the throwdown. And a delay of game warning. As Junior Mercy is going to bring it up.
Steve, stay with them. Stop it. Stop his heads up.
Zubadai still holding on to it, gets it over to Mercy again. There's a look to the corner. Here's Boykier up and in, can't finish though. Coming down with it is Lazar to Neath. Neath on the fast break. Gets it off and big throwdown by number 25, Luis Pacheco Jr. Getting it done. The big man out of Brooklyn, New York. Finds in the corner. Here's Boykier. And it's going to be knocked out by Lazar. So Saint-Laurent ball on the baseline here. 4:27 to go here in the third quarter. Crestwood leading 60-20. Look inside. Bucket goes up, and there's going to be a foul. And Yanis Bamba, after finding a little bit of space to go up to the rim, is going to be rewarded with a trip to the line there. Yanis Bamba, class of 2022, standing at 6'2". Plays more like he's about 6'5" when he's attacking the rim like that. Some very impressive length. You can definitely tell he's got a little bit more growing to do, that's for sure. Now bringing it up is Thomas. Trayvon Thomas tries to get it up to Neath, but ain't nothing happening. And on the inbound is Junior Mercy as it goes out of bounds. Neath saying that he got pushed from behind, but the referee says play on. Here's Junior Mercy bringing it up. Mercy kicks it out. And a giveaway, and here comes Fisher on the fast break. Are we getting it again? A LeBron James-esque throwdown, head at the rim, Elias.
That kid just gets up so easy. The game comes easy to him. Man, we've been talking about this a while. He might be more skilled at this point in time than Andrew Wiggins was at this age. Here's Jacoby Neath, the windmill rejection.
Oh, some great effort on the second effort on defense there. It's a bucket, but you know what? A lot of kudos goes there to Giannis Bamba, not giving up on the play and denying the highlight dunk.
And we got a timeout here in the third quarter. We'll be back in a few.
Hi, I'm Brandon Talbot. I'm mic'd up for Northwell Hoops. Hey, yo, right from the start, the whole time.
Same thing, yo.
Let's go.
Going over, we all.
Go, white team! Yeah, yo, let's just play, bro. For real.
Let's play our game.
Yo, energy, no quiet stuff, bro. Hey, you good? Come here, Pete. Come here, Pete. Give me that. Nope. Talk. Oh, come on, bro. Go to him. He's good. Hey, see you on the kick. You good, though. Keep driving. Keep going in the middle. Hey, let's get in. Let's go. Hey, Malik, let's get in. Let's go. Come get me. I got help. We good. Here comes my way, I got you.
And we're back here at the NPA Central session. This is game number 2 on day number 4. We've got Crestwood Prep out of North York taking on Saint-Laurent out of Montreal. At this time, really, it's been all Crestwood in this game. But to be fair, we've seen a few bright spots here of this Saint-Laurent team. Of course, you know, their oldest players are class of 2021, so we kind of had to temper expectations going into this one. But, of course, Elias, a few bright spots for Saint-Laurent nonetheless, especially, and let's talk about the last second there before that timeout. Giannis Bamba not giving up on the play as Pacheco was going to go up for a putback dunk. He goes right behind him, knocks the ball a little bit loose. You got to love that second effort.
Absolutely, and they got a culture about them at Saint-Laurent. It's a strong basketball community. When you go to their home gyms and you watch these guys play amongst their own age group, it's just a different ball game. And I think next year there's going to be some adjustments made in the Constitution to allow these guys to have the same age as everybody else, because the system that they come from SAGEP doesn't allow them to play older guys. Those guys simply move on to the next level, which is the collegiate level in Montreal or in the province of Quebec. Mm-hmm. So that adjustment's going to be made so that guys like Trayvon Minot, who moved on to play, you know, at the next level, at the SAGEP level, can play for his home school at Express.
Honestly, I think at this point, when everybody else is doing what they're doing and you're kind of marching by the beat of your own drum, at some point, I think for the benefit of the kids, it would just make more sense to kind of continue that progression with everybody else.
Absolutely. And I think the province of Quebec as a whole, I've been in and out of Quebec probably 30 times in the last 10 years. And I love what they have going on as a basketball community in terms of the talent that they're developing, but it is a very fragmented community. People are operating against each other right now, and I don't think they truly know what they have. If they're working together, they have arguably the best talent in the country.
I agree with that, because it's not only just basketball. I mean, if you look at it from every standpoint in a lot of the sports that they're best at, even things such as football. I mean, why is Laval such a a dynasty in the way that Carleton is in basketball? Why is it that you've got even some of the best players in the last generation to come out of Canada have came from either the Atlantic or Quebec provinces? I mean, this is just a culture and a province that takes so much pride in their athletics that if they manage to really just kind of, as you said, start working together more specifically. I mean, we could say that about everybody in Canada at one point or another, but it just seems
we got our own problems in the GTA.
Oh,
as well,
absolutely.
No doubt.
We're not sitting here and really accusing Quebec of anything that we're not guilty of either.
But being, let's face the music here, face the facts. Ontario is ahead of everybody else in the country, and I think that Quebec can make that huge jump if we're all getting on the same page and playing on the same system. And I can get into depth on this in a future podcast.
For sure.
But for now, let's get back to the action here. We got a minute and a half to go. Crestwood up big. Starters still on.
And we've got Boyke now bringing it up. He's going to be guarded by Antwi. Oh, nice move through the legs there.
Good to see Steven Lazar getting some minutes in this game. This is a perfect opportunity for him to develop some confidence from the coaching staff.
Absolutely.
And already,
speaking of guys off the bench here, we're also in the game here. Haven't had a chance to mention him. Andrew Kao, class of 2021. Number 11 is on the floor. He was another guy that I really loved the effort and ball awareness he had in the game against Halifax Prep despite his limited minutes. And I can imagine we're going to see a lot more of him for the rest of this game. Also on the floor is Osama McLouf, number 0 for Saint-Laurent, another guy that I'm sure is going to get an opportunity here. I mean, anytime one of these younger guys gets an opportunity to go against, arguably the number 1 player in their age group in the world, or a guy who's of the same level, it's very impressive.
Jacoby Neath bringing it up. Tried Keyshawn Laddie that time on the alley-oop.
All right, and as we have put back here, oh, nice move there by Lazar. Definite second effort, and you talked about him gaining some confidence on the floor. We're starting to see some of it there.
I feel like he could be highly effective given the opportunity, provided the opportunity. I mean, class of 2020, you see how he closed out there.
Oh, good second effort there by Pacheco. Oh, nice find to Kao. Excellent interception there, looking like a cornerback for Laval, getting the finish there. Oh, nice find outside, but it's taken away by Antwi.
Kobe Antwi looks up the floor right away.
Oh, but Crestwood keeps it in. Here's Kobe Antwi. And there's going to be, don't know exactly what happened there. Fouls on blue 25. Gets called with the tech. Don't know exactly what happened there, but maybe
I didn't catch that either.
Yeah, I think maybe just when he was over there, he just kind of let off his frustration in the wrong way, and referee just a little bit too closely to the for the referee's liking. As there's a made basket off the technical by number 32, Yanis Bamba. That's such a sick name, Bamba. There's a lot of great names on this Saint Laurent team. Bendito Blanco, Yanis Bamba, Roosevelt August, Junior Mercy. Like, what's not to love about this team?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Even the jerseys, I mean, they're just like a goldish yellow.
Oh, these
royal
are some of the
blue.
These are probably the flyest jerseys in the league. I like the cursive.
Yep.
You know,
the
for
swish,
the name.
of course, the Nike swish on the side. Like, you can wear almost any kind of shoes with them, and they look good, nice. All right, back to the action here. Jacoby Neath, no good. And you know what? That's one thing I've noticed here. In this second half, not a very good shooting performance from Crestwood from behind the arc. A lot of the buckets have came off transition.
That's true. They're taking advantage of the opposition in that case. Seconds to go here. 1. Not sure if they're aware.
It up. It's not going to count. But regardless, we're going to head into a break here. And, of course, this quarter break is brought to you by Indochino here at the NPA Central session. We'll be right back.
some of these young girls seek to do, being a coach, being a team captain when I played. I want to guide them. I want to give them advice and help provide opportunity through the scouting report and the showcases and the exposures. Just be able to build a relationship and get to know them and help them just really be the best young women and basketball players that they can be. I will be evaluating talent and scouting across Canada, just evaluating players' strengths, weaknesses, area for improvement, and also making a prediction and recommendations in terms of where they can take their career and what directions they could be looking at. The opportunities are endless. If girls basketball players in Canada want to excel and want to make a career out of basketball, they have every single opportunity to. It's just a matter of putting the work in, putting the consistency in, putting the discipline in. So to have this project on my lap after everything that I've lived and that I've kind of been through with basketball, the timing is perfect. And again, the potential and the...
I'd like to welcome everyone back here to the NPA Central session. This is day number 4, game number 2 on the docket. We've got Crestwood Prep taking on Saint-Laurent. Crestwood, a dominant performance on the scoreboard as they are, after a tough loss last night to Top Flight Academy in a filled-up gym, crowd all on top of them. Excellent effort, though, just coming up short by a few possessions with the final there 99-91. Elias, you were on the call for that one. I mean, what were some of the things you really kind of took away from that one as far as watching two of the best teams to go at it?
I mean, that was the game I was waiting for. Ooh-wee. Elijah Fisher almost got that one to go.
Almost.
I've been quite impressed with the class of 2020 for 2020 and 2021 for Canada. Teslak Luke, Enoch Colombe have been standouts in this session. Moon Wreath as well, picking up big. The class of 2021 has come correct. That's first and foremost. I think that's what stood out. Moon Wreath had a little bit of a shoulder injury, pulled it a little bit. I think when he's back, this is his league for the taking. The same kind of impact that A.J. Lawson, who's now at South Carolina, had last year, is what Moon Wreath is going to have. Now, as a team, CTA is on one. In my opinion, they are the #1 team in the country right now. I know that's debatable between them and Orangeville Prep. I think we need to set it up to get those guys to play against each other.
We need to see that game. Like, come on.
It's a must. It's a must. It's a must.
No, for
and
sure.
What I would love to see, I'm gonna keep mentioning this until it happens. Finalists from here, from the NPA, play the finalists from the OSBA. That is something that must go down.
I would love to see that more than anything. We got to get a chance to get that happening. We know we got some great friends over there in the OSBA that we know can make it happen. We love you guys. Come out and let's see who's the best. As getting back to the action here. Oh, great and one finish by number 32, Yanis Bamba, getting it done under the rim there. And once again, this goes back to the positives that head coach Chenier loves seeing about his guys. The grit and something you were alluding to earlier, Elias, is there's no quit in this team whatsoever.
And Montreal in general, and the province of Quebec in general, I think has that grit because they're always trying to prove themselves to the rest of the country. They're a very proud culture. And you see that from the way that, even guys on Twitter and Instagram are supporting each other. The Quebec community, there's real love there amongst each other. You got guys like Lugan Stewart who are absolutely killing it at Arizona State in the NCAA. Junior Farquhar from Middle Tennessee. Eze Dike for Yale. You got Emmanuel Bandumel, who's at Hill College, just committed to SMU. So these guys are producing, and they deserve the respect. So put some respect on Quebec.
For sure, as Elijah Fisher knocks down his first 3 of the game. Shot goes up, and you can count it. I believe that was by number 23, Richelieu Rinchette. There's a shot up. And now Crestwood Prep starting to heat up Elijah, 2 for 2 on the last 2 attempts. And here comes the pressure at half court. Here we have back into the game. We have Steven Lazar. He's going to come in for number 40, Ashraf Chadua.
Step up.
Here's Jamal Boyke. Gets it over into the corner, and there's a turnover on McCloof. Here's Neath. Neath. Oh, great effort there to disrupt the alley-oop by number 23, Richelieu Rinchette. My goodness, he got up there, Elias.
Yeah, he's not having any of that.
No.
They're tired of this.
Love it.
They're not going to have him. It isn't a circus. They're not going to have him throwing up alley-oops all game.
Oh, that just no quit in this team. Here's KO on defense. Now it's Neath with the ball. Lazar gets it. He's going to let it fly from 3. Tough shot.
Just a little bit rushed.
It was, definitely. He looked like he didn't get a chance to get himself centered in time.
Yep.
And that's definitely why he missed wide right as a right-handed shooter when you don't get set like that.
And in those situations, especially off a swing, you want to up-fake the defender as he's coming out on you on the closeout. That gives you some time to adjust your feet and get balanced.
For sure, as Elijah Fisher goes to the basket with 2 yellow shirts all around him. I mean, the body control for this kid, Elijah, I mean, just once again, as you said, one of the more polished players we've ever seen in grade 9, because it's not so much that he can jump out of the gym, it's how he scores when he goes against contact. And I think that's one of the more impressive things about him.
Yeah, and at this age, I said this earlier, he's currently more skilled than Wiggins was at this age as a 9th grader.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that neither of them had or have is I think there's a mental side. The mental maturity's still got to come along. Self-accountability still got to come along. Body language has to improve. And it's very natural for someone his age. This is not a shot by any means, but it is something that needs to develop and something we need to hone in on for him to maximize on his greatness.
For sure. Great steal there, though, by number 13, Hassan Dijam for Saint-Laurent. And bringing it up now, Rinchette goes up. He's going to get fouled by Lazar. And Rinchette, he's, you know, this is something that Nick and I discussed yesterday, the importance of guys when they come off the bench. What, you know, you're in a position where you're only going to get a few minutes to get in. What is the impact you've left on the game? Is it a negative one or is it a positive one? Because you're in this position where you're going to be missing a couple of shots, or are you going to have a positive outlook on it? But with that, we're going to take a quick break here. 6:09 to go in the 4th. Crestwood Prep 79, St. Laurent 33. We'll be right back.
Oh, boy's got the answer. That boy's not messing around, Tarek.
I'd like to welcome everyone back here. NPA Central Session, day number 4. Second game on the schedule. We have Crestwood Prep here with a comfortable 79-33 lead over St. Laurent. Ryan Greco on your play-by-play, joined here by Elias Spate on color. At the line here is Richelieu Rinchette. And to continue on the thought that we were on before the break, a guy like Rinchette, who's going to be fighting for minutes coming off of the bench, has had a very positive impact on this game for himself despite his few minutes. And that's something as a player fighting for minutes in these programs, you really have to put an emphasis on, because at the end of the day, the coaching staff needs to be able to trust that you're going to help this game, as there's a turnover there by Neath. As we're going to have a foul. The foul is on number 34, Benito Blanco. And it's going to be, I believe, it's going to be a shot for Jacoby Neath. No good on the first, a little bit strong. And no good on the second one, too. And
Okay, let's go, guys. Let's go.
Crestwood is going to keep possession. And there's going to be another timeout here from Saint Laurent, and we're going to take a quick timeout as a result of that as well. We'll be right back here at the NPA Central Session.
Look around the room, someone you don't know is watching you, and someone's going to talk about you after this, and you know, you want them to be able to say the right thing, and you know, that'll help send you in the right direction.
Those guys are here from 7 in the morning training because they want it. Let your game talk, right? That's what game speech means. 2, 3, game speech. We've seen lives change in a matter of 1 weekend. All on you.
Let's go. Let's go. Turn up. Turn up.
Don't settle for the 3. Don't settle.
Okay.
I'd like to welcome everyone back here to the NPA Central Session. Crestwood Prep looking to close out a win here with leading 81-33 with 5:41 to go here in the fourth. And there's going to be a foul. And the foul is on Jamal Boykier, class of 2023. But as we've alluded to here, there is no quit in the Saint Laurent team. They are not allowing any easy buckets despite their youth and lack of size. They have given 100% effort throughout this entire game. And as Elias was alluding to earlier, a great show of culture, of mentality. And that's something that, you know, it's something that can be taught, but it's hard to keep with you in games like this. But Saint Laurent has done a great job of that so far. And Kobe Antwi there getting a little showtime there. Bounce back off the pass, a bounce pass off the back of the defender and a quick bucket himself on the inbound. Gives Crestwood another bucket. And that's going to be knocked out of bounds by Thomas, and it's going to remain Saint Laurent ball. A pass that was intended for Roosevelt August. Here's the inbound, Junior Mercy. Not quite the game he had against Halifax Prep here, but still a lot of great things to see from this young guy. Finding the open man there, but some great defense there by Crestwood. But they get out of it as the shot clock expires. Lack of awareness there on Saint Laurent's part results in a turnover.
And with that turnover, we'll turn it around to the Canadians in the NCAA just to get a quick review. And for those of you who have tuned in, if you're one of the 60 or so people online, make sure you check out NorthpoleHoops.com's NCAA Canadian stat tracker via our guy Hassan Alanam. Points per game right now leading for the Canadians in the NCAA, none other than RJ Barrett at Duke with 22.7, followed by Lugenz Dort 22.3. Mariel Shayok from Ottawa right here. Now at Iowa State, a transfer from Virginia at 19.3. He's got a chance to be looked at by some NBA teams, in my opinion. And then one guy who I feel is going to be in the first round and might work his way into the lottery is Nickeil Alexander-Walker at Virginia Tech at 6'6", with that length and that ability to create offense. I think he's exactly what the NBA is looking for in terms of guard play. The combo role at 6'6" with good length and strength. Oakville's Kimball McKenzie in his senior season at Bucknell. And we've already got to work for Bucknell, just looking on some pieces for next year as a couple of seniors for them graduate. So RJ Barrett, Lugenz Dort, Mariel Shayok, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and Kimball McKenzie are your Canadian NCAA points per game leaders. Of course, assists per game led by none other than Andrew Nembhard at 6.6 a game.
And speaking of scoring, Hassan Dijam with an impressive and one finish there. He's going to go to the line for an extra point for Saint Laurent. And Elias, building and speaking on that, the top two guys in that scoring list, R.J. Barrett and Lugens Dort, we had an opportunity to see them actually go head-to-head at the Signature just before they left for college. And I must say that was probably one of my favorite moments as a basketball fan as Kobe Antwi misses the dunk there. I mean, getting a chance to watch those two guys, two elite competitors more than anything, just competitors going at each other. They both had some highlights on each other, which was great to watch. And there's the throwdown by Antwi. And I mean, as a Canadian basketball fan, what more could you have loved? The kid from Montreal versus the kid from the GTA going back and forth at each other.
Mississauga specifically. Let's shout out our city, bro. We're both from Mississauga.
That's true. Of course. Mississauga, baby.
We're putting on, man. At the NBA level, at the NCAA level, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And Jacoby there putting on for North York.
Absolutely.
Crestwood.
All right, here's Junior Mercy. Trying to put it on for Montreal right now. He's thinking about it. Finds the open man. Some good ball movement here by Saint-Laurent in the final minutes of this game, but some even better defense by Kobe Antwi. Gets it over to Thomas. Thomas with the layup. And here we are. Bringing it up now is Roosevelt August. As we said, August, just not his day from behind the arc here. But once again, don't get it twisted. He did still have a couple of very deep threes in that first half. Impressive showing from him. And we'll see if he can get one going here. Thinks about the step back. Gets it over back to Mercy. Shot goes up. Wide left. And Neath's going to bring it down. Goes up and in. And there's going to be a foul. To be honest, I don't exactly know where that foul was. Chidua going up, and I mean, August, hands straight up, not moving, not going down, but apparently there was still enough contact for a foul. Chidua at the line. Good on the first one. I'm a big fan of rotation on the ball, and you saw plenty of it on that one. That's usually a good tell if the shot's going to go in.
And if they got proper mechanics.
Well, that's it right there. I actually used there it is. See, there's actually we heard someone in the stands there yell it out.
Jacoby was yelling it out.
Oh, was it? There you go. Nice. Oh, they're speaking of Jacoby on the steal. Oh my goodness! Jacoby Neath. Stop this.
That's light work.
Up, but right back every time. I'm sorry, but every single time Saint-Laurent gets dunked on, they just come right back.
I think that's a rule that Coach Chenier has. You're not going to allow the defense to set up while those guys are celebrating. You're going to zoom back the other way.
I think you're absolutely right, because every single time they've been money. Anytime you've seen a highlight dunk over here, you've seen the comeback on the other end. It's as if every time they just kind of wake up a little bit, and we just get a little peek into their true potential. As Bandito Blanco makes good on the foul shot for the and one. Here's Neath. He's guarded by Zubadai, and some great defense in the middle there, though. Not giving up anything, but it is going to be a trip to the line for Neath. And here we go. At the line here, we've got Jacoby Neath. Neath, good from the line. I'd be interested to see what his stats are going to be at the end of this one. He's played almost an entire game here.
Finished up with 32 last night.
Something tells me it might be a little bit more than that even. Neath goes up and throws it down. And whatever it is, it's an extra 2 on top of that. And here's Blanco. Blanco gets it on the outside. Here's Zubadai. There's going to be a foul, though. And I believe The foul's on Neath as he was caught reaching in. And going to the line here is Yassine Zubadai, and this is one of my personal favorite players that I've seen at the Central Session here. Simply for the fact that, he's shown a skill set beyond his years. As a class of 2022 player, of course, for anyone else knowing, that's in grade 10, is just so comfortable at the top of the key. He's done a great job of not turning the ball over despite all of these big, strong forwards that have been draped all over him throughout this game. And even the game yesterday against Halifax Prep, that's another very large front court. And, he was up to the task every single time, finding the right man open on the three or turning over and turning around, taking off shots. As there's a shot that's knocked down by Kobe Antwi. But yeah, Zubadai, just to say really quickly, he was making all the right decisions with the basketball the last 2 games. And, well, as I said, watch out for that young man, especially as he starts to trim down and get a little bit more fit.
We got just a minute and a half left here in this game. Don't go anywhere. We promise you GTA Prep and Edge is going to be a close one. It's going to go down to the wire. Very good matchup for these two teams. Edge, a little disappointed in themselves based off of their previous outing, and they're going to have a tough one. They still got to play Crestwood today.
Yep.
Or sorry, tomorrow after they get a piece of GTA today.
Well, I'll be honest, knowing them, and knowing their coaching staff, I can guarantee you they're going to come on to this game today, or excuse me, to both of these games today with a chip on their shoulder, with something to prove, because they got a lot of love from the media about like how well and they've been playing in the program that they've built, and they've underperformed, as you said, so far. So today's going to be a day where we're really going to see just what kind of player and what kind of team Edge can be here, especially against top-level talent. And here's the ball working around. 1:13 to go in this one. 101-41 for Crestwood. Shot is good by number 23. That is Trayvon Thomas. Here's Zubadai again, working the top of the key. Tries to find the open man off the wing there. Oh, they find it though. Tries to go up. Turnover. Here comes Kobe Antwi. He's going to throw it down one more time. Zubadai gets the ball, and he pushes it up the floor here to Blanco. Blanco now. Nice spin move by Blanco. He's going to get
Looks like he got held on that side, too, off the spin.
He got held, knocked in the head. Apparently the refs are saying play on, though. 39 seconds to go in this one.
They don't want any more stoppage, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. I get that, but at some point you also kind of have to remember these kids, if they don't hear a whistle, they're going to think they can kind of get away with anything. And all it takes is one play. Here's a pump fake. Blanco, he's going to go up again. Finds the open man on the wing. Shot goes up, no good. And Rinchette battling for it, can't finish with it. And Shadua with the Statue of Liberty throwdown. Shades of Daryl Dawkins there. Blanco on the other way, and he's going to get fouled going to the line. But, specifically Blanco, I've been impressed so far. Great finish there. And Blanco, it's really been Blanco. See, with Junior Mercy now pretty much off for the remainder of this fourth quarter, the 16 seconds remaining in this one, it's really been Bendito Blanco that's really taken the initiative of attacking the rim in this game. He's really taken that leadership role with a lot of the reserves on the floor. Like I said, just a very strong culture. Blanco, no good. Oh, put back jam! Number 13, Hassan Ditcham. Michael Jordan-esque off the foul line. How high did that young man get? Hassan Ditcham, class of 2022 out of Montreal. Get this, 6'3", just taking off. And what a way to end this one. And that's going to do it here. The final, Crestwood Prep 108 Saint-Laurent 44. What an impressive showing by Crestwood, but a lot of fight from the Saint-Laurent team. But with that, please don't go anywhere. Coming up next, we have Edge School in action against GTA Prep in game number 3 on day number 4 of the NPA Central session here in Ottawa. We'll be right back.